So there's a Washington State ferry and a tanker with a tug escort behind it. And then over here is the Love Boat, a cruise ship out of Seattle. Seattle's over there past the point. You can see the downtown buildings. And there's Kingston, Washington. And here's Catnip. Yeah. All right, first time sailing in a couple of years. Just about. So this is not the widest of lenses. I'm using the little Canon M100 just because I didn't want to schlep the big Sigma FP down here. So this feels great. And you know, it's like riding a bicycle where where you know exactly how everything is supposed to work because it's just muscle memory. And so, yeah, pretty great. And this motion of sailing. It's sailing. I just locked the wheel, and that's the great thing about this cat catch rig is it just will find a point of sail and just cruise right along according to the wind. I do have the autopilot here, but Mount Rainier down there is really white, and Mount Baker up north is really white. And it's just been a cold April. Technically, it's the 13th coldest April on record in Seattle. I just saw a 7X headed down to Boeing Field. That's always fun to see. That's the great thing about Seattle is it's like, although Boeing's in such sad shape, but too big to fail, right? Hopefully. So, smoking some Bill Bailey's Balkan. And it's a little older, and those tins don't seal all that well. So, and I forgot my lighter. And I'm sure I have matches down below somewhere. So I keep this barbecue thing. There's the wake from the ferry. Oh yeah. So I keep that for the stove and the lantern down below in the cabin. And I'm smoking my other Middleton Rugged Root. So this is, I don't know, it looks kind of dark because the background is so light. So the exposure's off, but you know what? So what? It is not perfect. It's just great to be out. It's Sunday afternoon. I thought, screw it. I'm going to go down to the boat and go out. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to go very far. There's hardly any wind. But it's just putting the sails up for the first time. They're a little green at the bottom. I'm going to have to do a little cleaning here. But it just feels so good. But once again, it's April. It's late April. It's almost May. And it feels like early April, honestly. So this is awesome. It's just great. You know, sometimes I was thinking, God, I should just sell that boat, you know. There's the moorage, there's the other costs, the stuff just kind of rots away out in the weather. The Dodger, it's a stitching primarily. So I've hand stitched stuff back together when it's failed. I'm going to take one of the sail covers for the mizzen here home with me, and you know, maybe I have some Gore Tanara thread. Let's see what that is.
Avenue Northeast. Cross Street, Suquamish Way Northeast. Timeout 1839. WQEN 301.
See, this is my procedure. I have a little app. I have my pager, which is kind of acting up. And then I have my little app. It's an EMS call, so I would never respond to that. Well, not never. If it was right next door or something, I certainly would. But we do water supply, our volunteering with the fire department. So that's a good niche. Okay, enough of that. So, I was thinking, God, and I just didn't feel really good enough, limber enough to be out here for the last year. I mean, it's been a year since I had my hip replaced. It was April 12th of last year. So it's really just a year. And it's only, honest to goodness, in the last month that I've really felt pretty good. So it takes a long time to heal up. I mean, I could get by. I had mobility and I could do stuff, but I was just not myself. So I'm much more myself. And actually this boat helps me be myself because it forces me to scramble around and reach under and pull and yank. And I mean, it's the greatest exercise ever. It's like an aerobics class when you go out. So that is excellent. That's exactly what I need. That is exactly what I need. So we're just going to hang out. What time is it? Let's see. I'll bet it's 6-ish. Ooh, 6:41. All right. Well, okay. We have lights. Yeah, I'll just putz around out here and then head back. The goal was to get out here, and I did it, and it's good. So yay. Yay. I have so many choices for my limited time available. There's the house and the yard, and there's the boat, there are motorcycles and camping. There are social activities. I was actually supposed to go up and see some friends of mine today, but I wanted to hang out at home, get the yard kind of in shape. Last winter I bought a little Ryobi weed eater, a little string trimmer that uses the 18-volt battery system that I have batteries for already. So, really lightweight. I mean, seriously lightweight. And it was on sale for like $50. So I thought, well, those gas ones I have, they're a pain in the ass. The steel, I have two of them, a really big one and then a smaller one, but it's still pretty big. And they're loud, those two-stroke engines are just like, just not. And they're bladed, so you have to keep the blade sharp. And yeah, they do go through just about everything, but for light duty stuff, that battery one is great. It's great. So I don't know how long it'll last, but it has a 3-year warranty. And it's just so much quieter and easier, When you're using it, it's much quieter. When you're not using it, it's silent. I mean, instead of idling, two-stroke, stuff. So I'm a convert for that to electric, to battery power. Tanker's going ahead of us there. There he is. Just keeping an eye out for traffic. So I like these rugged routes. I mean, they're really rugged. They're like custom built on steroids, kind of. And they're not that usual to find. They smoke nice, but you know, most pipes do, honestly. It's a rare pipe that's a bad smoker. Sometimes when you get too fancy in the shapes and stuff, that can be a problem. But just a straight billiard like this, I mean, it could just be a piece of crap and it'd smoke well. So, and Bill Bailey's is kind of dry. Not a lot of flavor. I do have a pound bag of it I got at the last Chicagoland Pipe Show from Ivan Reese. So that's unopened. And it should cellar in the bag pretty well. Those tins, though, sometimes they don't seal very well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to anchoring out. You know, it all takes time in a sailboat, especially takes time just to get anywhere. So, yeah, I mean, it's just how it is. Oh, come on. All right. Okie dokie. I feel the breeze. But, I mean, we're just pooping along here at a knot or two. The Cascade Range running from pretty much as far north as you can see down into the clouds in the south. So that's kind of cool. Puget Sound is such a scenic place. A few seals out I've seen, little seabirds, of course. Have not seen any dolphins or any whales, but you never know when you're going to encounter those. So anyway, I'm just having fun. Just casual, quiet, easygoing fun. Oh yeah, and then there's Big Valley, you know, as far as things to do. So we're pretty well caught up with Big Valley after yesterday. So that's good. But you know, all these things, all these projects, they have limitless things to do. The boat, I have a long list of boat chores, stuff that needs to get done, that I just had put off. You know, I just didn't feel good enough. I'd come down here in the evening, but it was cold and wintry, and last summer was super hot. But for a few months after the surgery, I just wasn't even able to hop onto the boat. You know, so I wanted to see if that would improve, and of course it did. So we're doing great with the hip and the back and everything else that's broken, but you know, that's part of getting older, I guess. Although some people do it more gracefully than others. Sometimes those people who exercise like crazily, sometimes they break down pretty good too. I think maybe through overuse, perhaps. I don't know. I'm in no danger of that. I'm kind of driven in my own way, but let's try the auto hill. There we go. Okay. First time I've run that in a while. Anyway, I think you just have to do stuff while you can do it. And when you can't do it, well, you know, maybe you have to make corrections. You know, you were doing fine without the autopilot. It's an old Raytheon wheel pilot, so, which is the one advantage to a wheel. is having a wheel pilot. You can do tiller pilots as well, but they're kind of more in the way. And this came with a wheel, so. I have had a lot of adventures on this boat, I'll tell you what. I mean, I have had a lot of adventures. So, it has certainly been worth the investment, and I should be able to sell it for what I paid for it. So, because I bought kind of low. But barring a new engine, that's expensive. About 10 grand, probably. And new sails are expensive, but these are holding up pretty well. I just need to clean them. We'll get to that. And hopefully the weather... Oop, there was a little porpoise out there. Nice. Oh yeah. I heard it sound. And then it does this really graceful little arc with its little dorsal fin going. Yep. Sea mammals. Maybe they're smarter than us. Maybe we're the dummies of the animal world here. We just think we're so smart. Ooh, how delightful it would be to just find a little cove, drop the anchor, and just curl up in the foxhole and just, oh, it's so, the motion is just so great. Okay, soon enough. Anyway. Not an exciting sailing day, but it is, because it's the first sailing day in a couple years. So yeah. And I did have the bottom scrubbed by a diver. He did remark unkindly that it was pretty encrusted. So I'll have to haul this out and paint the bottom at some point here. Probably this summer, really. I have the paint. I bought the paint. Oh, there's a rack line. So we're crossing where the tides meet. Yep. Oh, are we going to do a little jibe or attack? Okay, let's see. Swing it around. It's all like in slow motion. Okay. Come on. Yeah. There you go. Oh yeah, you filled in. The mizzen hasn't yet. There it goes. Yeah. All right. Beauty. Oh, I feel a little breeze there. Very nice. So the goal here was just to get the boat out and exercise everything. You know, I hadn't been raising the sails or doing any of that. I've been running the engine, changing the oil, you know, doing that because I could do that. But yeah. But now, yeah. But now I feel a lot better. I may feel this tomorrow. But honestly, after mowing all of Big Valley yesterday, I was doing pretty good today. So, it's good. You just lock the wheel and then the boat finds its course and then just sails on that course, adjusts itself to the wind. Pretty remarkable. This is not a weatherly, like you can't point as high as you can in a sloop with this catch rig. But wow, for single handing, it is just amazing. There's one winch in the cockpit. Everything runs back to that one winch. All the reefing, the sail raising, the sail controls all come back to the cockpit. So you're in a protected place and kind of safe in this cockpit instead of being up standing on top of the cabin house winching up the sail. God, I tell you. So this is a very special boat. It really is. Not a boat for everybody. Of course, you know, I like that. I like the quirky. Quirky but smart. That is my magic combination. Okay, come on. This is a weird letter. Come on. Okay. That'll work. Ooh, just that motion. So this is a boat too that has 52% ballast. So that's unusual. Most boats this size, 28 feet, will have 30 to at most 35% ballast. So this has really a lot of ballast. So it makes it a really stable boat. And one reason I think they did that is it came in two versions. There was a centerboard version and there was a keel version. This is the keel version. And that centerboard version was shallow draft, and I think it needed quite a bit of ballast. But the advantage is 3,800 pounds of ballast. That's of lead. So that, I used to think that was the equivalent of a Ford LTD, but really that would be a really stripped down LTD. So cars have gotten a lot heavier these days. I think it's hard to make a safe car that's super light. There we go. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for coming along with me on my first sail in, what, 2 years? Because there was that year before I had the surgery where I could barely move around. So it wasn't just the surgery and after, it was the year before the surgery too. And I went out, I might have gone out a couple of times, and I did go out once. It was a push to help a friend look at a boat that was anchored in the harbor here that he ended up buying. But we just motored, and he helped me out a lot. So yeah, awesome possum. Take a look and see nobody else is coming here. No, the coast is clear. I wonder where that saying came from. The coast is clear. Maybe it's a nautical term. There were those people on that cruise ship headed north. Who knows where they're going? Probably Alaska. Yep, all right. Well, This is slow motion sailing. So, but thanks for coming along.